I feel like every fantasy story can be summed up by there's a person and then a war breaks out and then that person has to meet up and team up with some more people and end this great evil before the war kills everyone. Hello and welcome back to my channel, All the Stories. Today I will be talking about my February TBR. So February is Black History Month and I do like to read Black books all year, but I particularly try to read mostly Black books in February. Black books, bleh. Black books in February. It's just the thing that I do, even though I do read Black books year round. So all the books on this list are by Black authors and all these books are books I'm super excited to be reading. So let's just hop into the books. So the first two books that I'm reading are both for book clubs that I like to participate in. The first is How to Catch a Queen by Alyssa Cole, which is the pick for February for the Black Hotties book club. And the second book is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, which is for the Busy Bee book club, which is hosted by Erin, whose channel name is Booked and Busy. So these two books are both for book clubs, and I will try to read both of them in February. Since I didn't participate in either book club in January because, I don't know, I was in a slump. Okay, so hopefully this month will help me get out of my slump because I've been real slumpy. But How to Catch a Queen is book one in the Runaway Royal series, which is the spinoff series to the Reluctant Royals books by Alyssa Cole. So I really enjoyed the Reluctant Royal series. I read them all last year and they were just a good time. So I really am excited to get to How to Catch a Queen. This came out in December and I honestly don't really know what it's about. I know this girl ends up marrying this king and they don't actually like see eye to eye. He's known for his like cruelty or for being mean or whatever, and she ends up leaving and running away and he ends up trying to get her back. That may be 100% wrong. I don't think it's 100% wrong. It may be like 50-40% wrong. It may not be. I don't know, but it sounds like I could be wrong. No, okay, I'm right. She marries him. The king must rule with an iron fist, and newly crowned king is perfectly crafted for the gauntlet. Even if he wishes he wasn't, he agrees to take a wife, though he doesn't expect to actually fall in love with her. And his new queen seems to have answers to his country's problems, except no one will listen to her. By day, they lead separate lives. By night, she wears the crown. Okay. And he bows to her demands in matters of politics and passions. When turmoil erupts in their kingdom and their marriage, Shanti goes on the run and say you must learn whether he has what it takes to lead his people and to catch his queen. I was right. Okay, see, look at me. But yeah, that sounds really good, and I can't wait. So the other pick, Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is by a Black and Indigenous author, and it takes place in it's based off of Colombian mythology, which I've never read in the book, and this is also a adult fantasy. So love to see it, and this cover is gorgeous. Thank you. And this was one of my most anticipated releases of last year, so I'm really excited to get into it. And I've heard nothing but like raving reviews about this. I know Kay from I Love Books Okay always talks about this book, so I'm really excited to see what it's about. I do not know anything about what it's about. I think there's like a female ship captain and like a blind boy who is being possessed by a god. Again, I could be wrong. And I'm excited to see what all the hype's about because it sounds really good. And it's also blurbed by a bunch of my favorite authors. So it sounds like a win to me. So the next book I want to read is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. And I also believe this is the March book pick for the Black Hotties book club. So I'm getting a jump on that. But I have never read a Tiffany D. Jackson book. So this will be my first Tiffany D. Jackson book. And look at this cover. Beautiful. And this is actually like a YA thriller following like the music industry. It follows our main character who is like a rising star in the music industry, but her producer who she starts dating is kind of abusive, and one day she wakes up and he is dead and his blood is literally on her hands and she cannot remember what happened, so she is trying to figure out what happened that night and kind of trying to figure out if she killed him or if she didn't kill him, who killed him. So I've heard nothing but great things about Tiffany D. Jackson as an author. I've heard amazing things about her book like Monday's Not Coming, and I just can't wait to read this book because it sounds amazing. Everyone raves about Tiffany D. Jackson as author, so I can't wait to read this. So the next book I want to read in February is The Kingdom of the Gods by N.K. Jemisin. This is the third and final book in the Inheritance trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I read book 1 and book 2 in this series last February, and I just never got around to finishing the series. I don't know why, and I'm going to rectify that. I'm going to finish this series this month, hopefully, and I cannot wait to see what happens. Each book in the series follows a different character, so our main character followed Een, I believe her name was, and the second book, I can't remember the main character's name, and this book follows Seth, or Sieth. I don't know how to say his name either. Like, okay, I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, but he was introduced in book 1, and he is a god. So this is the first two books follow human women, and this one follows a male god. So I want to know. And Sieth was like my favorite character. Well, not my favorite. He was one of my favorite guys that was introduced in book 1. So I can't wait to see what his book is about, and like him, I can't wait to see him being the main character in the book. So I honestly don't know what Sieth's going to get into, but I can't wait to read this because N.K. Jemisin is N.K. Jemisin, and she's a queen. So I will read anything by this woman. So with that being said, since I would read anything by this woman, my next book is going to be The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This is by far her most talked about work, her most awarded work, I believe, is The Fifth Season. The Fifth Season series in general, or the Broken Earth series, is what the series is called, but the Broken Earth trilogy is like the book series I hear talked about the most when it comes to N.K. Jemisin, the one that's raved about the most, the one that every book in the series won the Hugo Award, like a queen walking amongst us, people. Listen, but I cannot wait to read this. I heard such good things about the fifth season. This book follows like our world, but it's like a futuristic version of our world where the apocalypse happens once every generation, and the world is kind of just like going to shit, like earthquakes, tsunamis, you name it. Like the natural disaster happens every year because Mother Earth don't like us no more. She is upset and she is getting her vengeance, and we just gotta deal. So there's magic, and we follow, I think, 3 different perspectives in this, and I am so excited to finally read the series because everyone, and I do mean everyone, raves about the fifth season and the Broken Earth trilogy. So I'm trying to jump on the ship because I feel left out. Next, I want to read Charming as a Bird by Ben Philip, or Philippe. I don't know. I don't know. But this book also has a gorgeous cover. Appreciate it, appreciate it. And this book is another 2020 release that I was really excited for. It is a YA contemporary story following 2 main characters who go to like this, I don't want to say it's a private school, and the male main character is very popular, and the female main character, and he has a dog walking business, and then our female main character finds out that he is using his dog walking business as like a scheme, or he's like cheating people out of money or something. I don't know. But she finds out something bad that he's doing, and she decides to use that to blackmail him into helping her become popular. I don't really know why she has a bad image, but she uses that to her advantage. And I guess it's like a romance. I'm assuming they start to become friends, or, you know, friends to more than friends. And I just need it. I need me a good YA contemporary I found out some dirt on you, so you're going to help me become popular story. We love to see it. So next we have a middle grade story, and I don't read a lot of middle grade, but I do like to dabble in middle grade every now and again, and that is Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky by Kwame Mabalia. And this is part of the Rick Riordan imprint of stories. So the Rick Riordan presents middle grade books. So I can't wait to read this, and this is based off of African and African American mythologies. So you have characters like John Henry and other mythological characters that appear in Black stories that appear in this book. And it follows the main character Tristan Strong, whose best friend dies, and after his best friend dies, his parents decide to send him to Alabama. And I also want to read this because I am from Alabama, if you didn't know. Now you know, and I never see books set in Alabama unless it's a very bad, very country representation of us. I mean, we are country, but that's not what this video is about. But anyways, he is sent to live with his grandparents in Alabama, and he ends up punching a hole into another dimension or another world. So after he punches this hole into this other dimension, he finds out that this world has magic, and he has to find a way to close up this hole that he punched in the sky, or some terrible evil will come from that world into his. And this sounds so good. And this cover, again, take a minute to admire how stunning this cover is. We love to see little black boys and little black girls on the covers of books. I didn't get it, and I'm so happy this next generation will, because so happy to see little black kids on the covers of their own stories. Like, chef's kiss. Now on to a 2021 release that I'm really excited about. We have Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. This is the prequel to The Hate U Give, and it's following Maverick, who was Star, who was the main character in The Hate U Give. It was her father. That was really convoluted. Like, the way I described that was really convoluted. So this book follows Maverick, who was Star's father in the first book, and it follows him as a teen. And I really am happy to see this because I was really intrigued by Maverick's storyline, or like the hints and the little details we got about his past. So I'm really excited to see more of Maverick and like a book from his point of view back when he was younger, and I'm guessing back when he met Star's mom and all of these things that were going on. And I'm here for it. Again, what a book with a black character with a do-rag on the cover. We love to see it. And last but not least, I would like to read Song of Blood and Stone by Elle Penelope. This book has been on my radar forever, and I had to get the hardcover because I love this cover. Even though I know the rest of the series doesn't come in this cover, I had to get the hardcover because it's stunning. And I'll deal with that, the consequences of that, when I have to buy book 2. But for now, you know, I love a pretty book. But here we are, we have A Song of Blood and Stone, and all I know is that this is a high fantasy, and it follows black characters, and there's a war. I feel like every fantasy story can be summed up by there's a person, and then a war breaks out, and then that person has to meet up and team up with some more people, and end this great evil before the war kills everyone. And I believe that's what this book's about. But that's what most fantasies are about, right? But anyway, I honestly believe that's what this is about. There's a war, and our main character is trying to stop it, and there's magic. Don't come for me, y'all. Y'all know I don't read synopsises. I buy because the cover is pretty, and okay, that's not true on every book. I do read synopsises, but then after I read it and I buy it initially, and then it sits on my shelf for however long it sits on my shelf before I read it, by that point that I read the synopsis and decided I wanted to read the book, and then I actually get to the book and talk about it, I forgot what the book's about. So, but that works out for me because then I can go into the book and then something happens and I can be like, oh yeah, that's what this book's about. And then it's still a surprise. Like, anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. That's all the books that I plan to read. It's like 9 or 10 books, and we'll see. I'm awful at sticking to TBRs, and I know that about myself, and I can own that. But we'll see if I read all these books. I'm gonna try. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!